Vladimir Putin has ordered the Russian government to look into developing a video game console. This follows Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony halting sales in the country. Lads, I got this news from Twitter, right, from Culture Crave, and it fucking cracked me up thinking about it. How do you feel about having a new competitor on the console market when Russian government come full swinging in, oh viva da, with a brand new fucking console delivered to you? God, I hope that's the start of music. I want to know, do you feel that the Russian people, when they're not able to buy new consoles at the moment, would be so craving out that they'd buy a government-funded one? And secondly, give me a fucking name for it. Or a give me a name that you could potentially be, or a game that the Russian government would come up with. I want to know either. Thinking on your feet here.
You know, I'm usually good at thinking on my feet. Whilst we're thinking, I'm just going to go off on it a little bit. For one, I think this is genius. I think this is brilliant, because where would we be if not for Tetris? And where was Tetris made? Russia, baby. So imagine if they have a console. They got some fella making innovation. Nothing like Tetris before Tetris, and now bang, we'll have nothing like He's gonna make his own name on it, isn't he? Or it's gonna be like the VP2 or something. He's gonna do something like that. Yeah, or he's gonna name it after like his arms or his gun. The VP. The VP's sick.
The VP's a great name.
Yeah, I think it's
64.
Yeah, the VP64. Genius. Fucking hell. Cease and desist from Nintendo right away. But I think the only game, it would only be able to play Tetris as well. That's it. Just
Would
original
Tetris
Tetris.
2?
Nah. They can't improve perfection. It's just Tetris.
That's true.
And it just plays the Russian anthem.
The entire way.
Yeah, the entire way.
A propaganda.
Yeah. And you see like planes come off, just randomly dropping bombs in places behind. And that's it. And it's just Tetris. It's sick. And you have to legally play 2 hours a day, or you get shot in the head.
And all it is.
How do you think they're controlling all the drones that fly out of Russia in the war?
Oh, exactly.
It's all those people on their VP64s.
Yeah. Drone simulator. You think, oh my god, these graphics are fantastic. You're actually fighting the war in Ukraine. That'd be wild, wouldn't it?
We shouldn't be laughing about this stuff, but that's fucking funny.
That would be wild, though, wouldn't it? You'd be like, oh, bro, I just got like a 20 kill streak last night. They'd be like, no fucking way. No way, did you? And all it is, you just then learn later on that you're just you're a fucking soldier. But you're not getting paid for it. You've paid for the fucking VP64. That's fucking wild. That'd be wild. That'd be absolutely wild. Well, Phil, have you thought of a name? Have you thought about a kind of console game that the old Vlad could put out here?
Well, let me start off by saying you will not see this, right? So if this happens, it will not be available anywhere else other than Russia. Now, I've got some Russian friends, or maybe I've got one Russian friend, and we've spoke about these kind of technological kind of, I don't know, journeys that the Russian people take. And I think they experienced the same thing with the iPhone maybe a couple of years ago, where they basically came out with their own iPhone in Russia that was developed by the Russian. Hopefully I'm not just making this up and it wasn't just a drunk conversation. And of course it might be, because when I'm with my Russian friend, we drink a lot. But I'm pretty sure they came out with their own iPhone in Russia and they gave it to the people. And of course it's filled with propaganda and it's controlled by the government. And I couldn't see, the VP64 going any other way than that, because that's what they're all about, or that's what the Western public is led to believe. Putin, do not come for me. I'm happy. All right, China, Russia, I can be bought very easily, very, very easily. But my favorite Russian word, and I think it's a relatively common Russian word, and I hope it is Russian. Again, someone's probably going to fact check me on this, but I fucking love the word Kalashnikov. Kalashnikov. Just sounds good, doesn't it? So why wouldn't my console or the game that I'm playing on my VP64 call it Kalashnikov? Call it Vodka Kalashnikov. What a game. Now, would you want to play that game? I would. I'd be in. I don't know what you're doing in the game. Drinking and shooting, hopefully.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Vodka Kalashnikov. That's what I'm going with.
The Kalashnikov is a gun, isn't it? You know, we've all fired many a Kalashnikov in games, or had them shot at us, depending on who the baddies of the game are. Generally Russians or Nazis, one of the two. Yeah, I could see it. You know, a nice first-person shooter. I mean, what are we talking more like, you know, classic Castlevania style graphics here, or are we talking, you know, the VP64 is going to be pushing, you know, big numbers out here, and it's gonna be the most impressive shooter anyone's ever seen in the market?
No, I'd imagine it's going to be 64-bit, so I'm thinking it's going to be on the same level as Doom. No multiplayer, you're just going around shooting, you know, innocent Europeans. So, there's a bit of social commentary for you. You never expected you hear that on our show.
No, fuck no. Well, I do like the VP as a console brand is amazing, right? It's absolutely amazing. And in fact, I'm actually going to use it again for the VP, but I'm going to call it that, you know, maybe they come out with the 64 first, and then after that does well on the market, after everyone's been mandated to buy it, they then come up with the next one, which would be called the VP Bear. Because they love bears over in Russia, don't they? And so it would be the VP Bear, which would be the next one. And then the advert for it on Russian TV would be like, VP Bear. And it'd be like a swipe mark down, like a Mad Catz logo. Bear. And I reckon the game that they come out with is like a bear simulator. So it is that you're a bear in the wilderness of Siberia, and you're attacking people, and you're attacking, like, it starts off like you're going into villages and just rooting through bins, but then you level up, and then you get to the part where you're going out there and, like, attacking guards, and you're attacking army people. And as Phil quite rightly said, they may have American flags behind them. I don't know, right? Whatever the propaganda is, but you can have it. Maybe the bear's ripping apart an eagle, or he's ripping apart, like, a robin, you know, for the UK. He's ripping apart, like, all other animals that, you know, are flags for different places, and the bear's just running wild.
I'd love to think that all these games that we play, you know, in Europe are kind of the opposite when it's like either sold in Germany or sold in Russia. So like the Nazis are the good guys in their games, right? If you're playing Wolfenstein, they're the good guys, right? And it's just flip reverse. I would love it if that was a thing.
That would be wild, wouldn't it? I don't think there'd be like a German person alive now that would be like, I think
probably not.
They know that the Nazis were bad, right? They've had that like nailed into them. So I can't imagine they'd be like, Joe, I'm quite on board with this fighting for this Hitler guy. I don't think they'd make that mistake again. They've already done. They've already started 2 world wars. They don't want to fight a third, do they?
They're all behind the Hellgas, aren't they? That's what they're doing.
They are. Yeah, they're very.
They play Killzone from the other side. Yeah.
Yeah, they only play on the Hellgas team. They just quit out immediately if it's the ISA. Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. So that's a nice little bit of news. Jesus Christ. Right, well.
News.
Oh, God. I hope there's more to this story. I hope that the more that comes out, I really hope we get to see this. And if it is called the VP, I think we each, like, Spence gets to have impunity on a big quiz or something. Like, if it comes out and it's called the VP, fuck me. I think whatever you want, lad. Whatever you want us to do, name the shot count, lad, because you've earned it.